order. I know that we've received our board book for November, and in the board book were the minutes from our October meeting. So if you'll take a moment just to review those, and then I'll be taking a motion to approve the minutes.
Jay, I will be here for the whole meeting, but so if y'all need any help, let me know.
Okay, well, you and Wanda can fight over it. She said that she could carry on after I have to leave. So we're looking at the minutes from our October meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve those minutes?
I make a motion we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, Damon has moved and Alex has seconded. All in favor of approving the minutes? Say aye or raise your hand. Okay. Those opposed, same sign. Okay, our minutes have been approved. And then we're going to move on to Cheryl Bartlett with our financial report, which was also included in your board book.
Okay. Yes, you should have the financial statements. There isn't a lot to say about this month. We did not get any hot tax checks in until after November the 1st, so they didn't show up in October. We also didn't get any bills to the city for payroll or insurance or anything else. So this is a pretty, non-eventful month. The only thing that looks really big is we had the concert in October, and we had lots of expenses and some income. We don't have everything in yet. There were still some checks written in November, after November 1st, the things that came in, and I realized today with Joanna that we don't have some of the online ticket sales in there either. So some of the income's missing. We have to actually transfer it from Eventbrite, and it hadn't been done yet. So what's there is not even accurate for the concert. So really, it'd probably be better to wait until next month, and we'll have a better picture of all of this. But I'll be glad to answer any questions anybody's got.
Thanks, Cheryl. Does anyone have any questions? Looks pretty straightforward. I don't believe, and I mentioned this last month, but I'm pretty sure that the financial is just a financial report. We don't have to approve that. So we can move on to the number 4, which is if there's no questions, the CVB operations move. We discussed that in great detail at our last meeting. Just to give an update on where we were and positions that that some of us held, and just to give you an update, we're not really much further down the road, but I do know that Sherry is met with Brian and continues to go to the community services staff meetings, and I know that Sherry has some meetings scheduled with Mario. So I guess what I'll say about this is that we've signed our employment agreement with the city for our employees for the year. We've signed our services agreement. Sherry will be making her report to the city council in December. And as I mentioned to you previously, the idea that Sherry would be taking on some greater responsibility with historic sites and with Main Street, those details have not yet been worked out. So there's really not a lot to report, except to say that I know, Sherry, I believe you're going to be on the historic sites manager, and you're going to be in on that hiring process. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, super. And I know Main Street is sort of looking at redesigning visioning their board in some ways. And I'm not sure. I'd like to have some follow-up discussion with the folks that are on the Main Street board about that, or who have previously been working with Main Street. But mainly, there's just really not a lot to report right now. Again, my timeline, my thought process had been that if there was some type of reorganization related to visitor services, that probably wouldn't happen until after the first of the year, as I mentioned at our last meeting. So any discussion about the CVB operations move? You guys are quiet today. Okay, well, with that, I know that, oh, go ahead, Damon.
I was just going to reiterate kind of what you said, which is, Sherry is, my understanding is that Sherry is going to take on some more responsibility, which kind of, what Shay and I had briefly discussed with Sherry is that as board members, we really need to step up, and that especially includes me, because I oftentimes fail to go to the at-night events because I'm getting old. But I am going to change that because this board and what we do is important enough to me to do that, and I'd like to encourage everyone to do it. And then also, I think at the last meeting there was a feeling that there was a lot being done and that was happening quickly, and that we weren't able to chew through it as a board. And I think that, one of the things that Shay said that we resolved, and I'll reiterate, is that now we really have time to make these changes intentional because we've pegged them out about 9 months down the road. But in that time, I'd like to see what we as a board can do to step up, help Sherry take on more responsibility as Sherry is taking on more responsibility, and then also help see help contribute to what the future of the CVB and Nacogdoches is going to be. And it's really exciting from my perspective, having worked with this board for several years now, and I'm just excited about it and excited to be more involved.
Thanks for that, Damon. And one of the things that related to this that I've mentioned to Sherry is that I would really like to have a board retreat or board training for our new members. And I know when Sarah and I came on, I don't know that we really got a full board training at that point, but maybe sometime in January after the first of the year, we can look at having a board training that will help us really understand the purpose and the mission of the CVB board. So that all folds into the same idea about expanded responsibilities, not only for the CVB staff, but for the board members too. So anyway, look for that to happen in the coming days. So with that, our next, unless there's other discussion, our next item of business is staff reports. And I know that our staff have been very busy doing lots of great work, and the calendar is full, and the emails about everything that's going on. It just makes your head spin. There's so many things going on. So Sherry will give her executive director report first, and then I'm going to let Wanda close you out on this meeting, and thank you all. I'm sorry that I've got to go to another meeting, but you'll have a great afternoon.
Thanks, Shay. First thing I wanted to touch upon were merchandise sales. We've designed and ordered some special offerings for gift giving this gift giving season. We took our 2 most popular t-shirt designs and we're offering those in a long sleeve version, and those just came in yesterday and we've already been selling those. That's our Nacogdoches road trip design, the white shirt, and then the navy Nacogdoches established 1779 shirt. And then we also have specially designed hoodies, which are purple and super soft and cozy. And they have Oldest Town in Texas with crisscrossed axes. That design is also available in a 16-ounce coffee mug. We have Born in Nac t-shirts. I had wanted to do a Case and Monk Toyland Legacy line shirt, and we just weren't able to get the right graphics in time, and I would rather not do one at all than to do one that isn't up to our standards. So next year we'll add that to the list of offerings as well. We're waiting on a delivery of umbrellas, branded umbrellas, that when you open them up, it's a pine forest on the underside of the umbrella. So we'll be trying those out to see how well those sell. And we had an outstanding response to our request for cookbook recipe submissions that has gone off to press. And we should be looking at having those delivered in the next couple of weeks in time for the holidays. So we were very, very fortunate, whether it was intentional on behalf of our community that they continued to buy our stuff during the pandemic, but we really have been seeing just unprecedented gift shop sales. And a lot of that might have to do with Heart of Texas going out of business. We try and keep in mind, and it is so much fun for me personally to design things. That's a really fun, creative part of the job, but I have to sort of keep myself in check and remember that that is not our main purpose. We certainly want to have healthy gift shop sales, but we are here specifically to promote Nacogdoches as a tourism destination and to put heads in beds. And we never want to be seen as competition for our downtown merchants around here. But that being said, we're the one that fields the complaints from passers through that, I really wish we could get a magnet or, the souvenirs that they want. So we're trying to find that balance between staying true to our mission and purpose, but also satisfying a need of our clientele. So we're really excited and proud of the merchandise that we have, and Ashley's doing a great job of marketing that. We have like a toboggan hat and matching gloves. Anyway, lots of fun stuff. Marketing update, we received cold calls from a group called Manor House, and I know I sent out an email a few weeks back. It's a Canadian group, and they had remnant sales, and that's not an uncommon occurrence. But we were able to get in at a really affordable price point, both video and print, to this Canadian audience. Which we're always looking at expanding beyond our 5-hour drive market that we have around us. When we do have those opportunities present themselves where we can test market our messaging, this was an outstanding opportunity. We were able to not only get the exposure and the insertion, but also to capture digital analytics of how well the messages were received, as well as the addresses for these dual income couples that are double vaxxed, and Canada is opening up their borders. So it's outstanding opportunity. We were presented with a subsequent opportunity because we were so easy to work with, that we are going to do another run with them in January and February. Ashley just completed that message. It's more of an advertorial this time, and it highlights Garden Capital in our azalea season. So we hope to be able to see some conversion of that, just with the intentionality of our message, with an opportunity that also provides that digital analytics. So we're really excited about that. And I think I spoke to this before, but it bears mentioning. We are so blessed with our partnership with Hancock Advertising, and Chris and Ashley and I sat down early on, and we are sticking with we have a knack for that ad campaign. When Hancock originally presented that to us, they also presented a secondary campaign, which was It's in Our Nature. And Chris helped us identify an opportunity to sort of test drive the It's in Our Nature. And I believe that's in the Texas events calendar, correct, Ashley? Which is a twice a year publication. So we have that one out, and we're looking forward to seeing how well that one performs. I honestly don't see us ever stopping using the We Have a Knack for that. I think it's become really entrenched. I think it still has a lot of legs left to go. It has served us well and it is very well received, but I think we can augment and supplement with the It's in Our Nature as well. So that's been fun to see that. But we also want to, along that vein, take a step back and tell the stories behind our assets. We had an insertion in Texas Monthly's barbecue edition that featured a full page ad with Brendan and his family, and sort of what inspires him to cook, and it's the legacy of barbecue. And down the road I can see it's who are the faces that bring us the beauty in our gardens, and Dr. Creech and Don Stover, who's since moved on, but really attaching the characters and the names and the faces and the groups that help us to keep our historic sites open at OUB, for example. Those are that's going to be on our marketing landscape as well, so that we can continue to push our assets, but make a richer, deeper connection to our audience by telling the stories behind it as well. And our plans for volunteer recruitment in January, we are going to go through a transition where we move our volunteers into more of an ambassador role. And so we will be referring to them in January moving forward as our Nacogdoches ambassadors. And towards the end of the month, we're going to open up applications for individuals, families, and businesses. And one weekend, we will rent a bus and empty out Mike Bay's brain into a binder, and we will take qualified candidates for the Nacogdoches Ambassador Program. We'll take them on a guided tour around our town, give them talking points about all the different stops that we have, and they'll go through hospitality training. And our hope is at that point, as we look at sort of broadening the scope of visitor services to include staffing historic sites so that they can have more hours of availability that they're open, that we can have a larger stable of ambassadors that can help us to keep those historic sites open as well. So we'll have different volunteer opportunities during the week and on weekends at the Charles Bright Visitor Center, as well as at our historic sites, and when Zion Hill opens, there as well. And hopefully eventually we can move, we're going to start off with this one program, one training opportunity in January. If there's enough interest, we'll do it twice a year. The ultimate goal is to see us do that quarterly so that we can keep sort of a fresh rotation of people coming in, and do our best to make that a really like a badge of honor, to get to know your hometown in a way and present it, because I think most people would be surprised of the interest that outsiders have of Nacogdoches. I think it's really easy to turn a blind eye to it. We take it for granted. But it really is very special just to sit in my office and overhear what brings people to Nacogdoches on a daily basis, and they're coming. And Mike will add to that point in his report when he tells you the number of people that, that cross the threshold here. So other than that, we are decorating for Christmas, getting that done. This year will be the first year I made the executive decision. Typically, we try to have a Christmas tree per flag. And I decided that nobody really cares about that and it becomes more challenging than not. So this year we're going to shake things up a little bit. Still going to have multiple trees, but we will have one 9 flags tree that represents all the 9 flags. We'll have a Texas themed tree. We'll We'll have a garden capital tree. We'll have a Nacogdoches themed tree. And we've opened up to the community, for them to come in and sponsor some trees too. So trying something a little different that will, get our merriment across and not be quite so difficult. So that, I believe, is all that I have to report.
Am I up, Wanda?
There we go. All right. I assume you can hear me now. Thank you, Sherry. A lot of activity going on. I was trying to take notes quickly. I couldn't keep up. There's so much there. I want to say one little thing. I don't know if this is the appropriate time to say it, but just to add to what you have just said, that hospitality training, I think that's going to be wonderful. I love that idea. I have volunteered and am volunteering some more. And I feel the need to know more information about these talking points that you're talking about. I have been asked questions and I was born in Nacogdoches and have lived here a long time. Not my entire life, but most of my life, and I don't know all the answers. So I'm certainly going to be applying for that position, for the hospitality training, and I hope that the rest of the board members will consider that also. It's the only really day that I can volunteer is on a Sunday, but I'm glad to do it. And those sites will be open, I assume, or at least the visitor center is open. I know, because that's the only day I can do it. So I hope that everybody will feel encouraged to be. That's what we're doing. That is tourism. The more we can promote it, the better we are. Anyway, so that's all I was going to say about that. Is that I'm excited to hear all of that, and I want to be an ambassador in addition to a board member, so I'm going to apply also. Thank you. Joanna, I guess you are up next for sales and promotions. So what do you have to tell us?
All right. Well, we did wrap up our 2022 Full Moon Concert on October 22nd. If you were able to attend, it was absolutely fabulous. We had the Fab Five. I am actually meeting tomorrow with our promotions partners, our event partners that have been a part of it since the beginning. We have a lot of buy-in for sponsorship. So the hope is by developing some sponsor packages and also really developing a new music-friendly committee, it's going to allow us to help staff create additional music opportunities throughout the year, and most importantly, be profitable, because we love hosting and we love bringing people in, but the idea is let's make a little scratch while we're at it. So we're going to actually be meeting tomorrow. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully have the sponsorship packages ready for January 2022, because we're going to hit it hard and start asking for some money. We also, on October, was it Alex, I can't remember when we did the Jack Madness.
The 28th, I believe.
28th. So SFA basketball really did something wonderful. It wasn't as successful as they had hoped. They brought a lot of people in to kick off their SFA basketball. But for those of us that stayed, what was so wonderful is they have Wally, is it Critterton? Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah.
Crichton, something like that. Yeah.
Crichton. Anyway, this absolute 90s junkie, we secured a band for him through the same resources we have for our concert, which was fabulous because he called and he asked, we delivered, and the folks that did stick around had the best time dancing on that floor at this kickoff. I know Alex was disappointed, and she said people should have stuck around. They were crazy. It was such a good band.
It was so fun. They missed out 100%.
Yeah, they did miss out. The nice thing is I got a message even from Wally this morning, because we sent him, some bills for these entertainers to spend the night at the Fredonia, and he's already looking forward to doing something else. I mean, what he did was correct. It was unfortunate the kiddos just didn't stick around to enjoy it. So that was fun. It's nice to know that we have some, if not pull, at least we are a resource to SFA. Maybe not for the big country western things that can be brought, acts that can be brought in, but anything else we can. I've got something to say about that too. But that was a lot of fun. On the weekend of November 5th, 6th, we had our Veterans Day parade in conjunction with our Day of the Dead celebration. That was probably one of the best attended Veterans Parade that we've had in a very long time. The lady that put it together was new this year, and so I already received compliments from her that it went as smooth as possible. She's already booked for next year, which we like to see on the calendar, because that's definitely one of my intentions, is to populate our 2022 calendar as much as possible. I know the city would like to see that. We all want to see it because it helps having that as complete as possible, especially as a traveler if you're looking for things to do throughout the course of the next year. The Day of the Dead, we decided as a CVB, or I did, I was here, we kept it open. I can't tell you how many people we had come in that had never been in here. So I let them tour. It was great. We had the dancers in here. Sarah. It was a wonderful cultural event. And thank goodness for Crystal Hicks. She is just one of the most talented, gifted people we have in our community. And we have, I know Ash and I truly appreciate partnering with her because everything she touches, as far as I'm concerned, is gold. But she has a understanding of the cultural aspect that we as tourism need to stay focused on. As East Texas, you know, we could really own some cultural events because no other community in East Texas does it like we can. And so I look forward to continuing to work with her again next year, just based on how the calendar is. We will have Veterans Day Parade and Dia de los on the same day. So let's see, after that, this past weekend, we hosted the Corvair Club. Such a cool group of people. We've been trying to do this since, I don't know, 19 or 20. COVID hit. We had to cancel it twice. They came, they had folks drive from Oregon in their Corvairs. And Wanda, I know you know a whole lot more than I do about cars, but I didn't realize the extent of what a Corvair looked like. They had vans, they had trucks, they had a sports car that looked just like a Mercedes to me. And we were able to host a social for them here in our building on Friday night. They played bingo, they had a blast, they had a great time. We stayed open for that and for them, which coincided with Main Street's Merry Christmas Market. So it was happening. We really, really enjoy having people down here, and they love the fact that the stores were open for them. And then the next morning they were set up, and it was a beautiful day in fall, and we had so much traffic. Showcase Saturday was this Saturday, this past week, and with dollies, and the car club was beyond excited with how many people came out to see them, because that's all they want. They just want to talk cars and show off. Had a blast at the Fredonia as well. We also, if you guys don't know, there's a Nacogdoches Classic Car Club, and they have risen from the ashes and are now meeting once a month, or have for the last couple of months behind our building. They are looking to join forces with us as we kick off our 2022 Knack Snack Fridays. It'll be fun. We're going to limit the amount of cars. I would rather people have a sense of urgency to hurry up and show off, because what that'll do is for our Knack Snack, especially in the evening, we'll just take over the square, and hopefully that'll show more people that are just downtown that something's going on. So having them there will also help them, you know, have people here, but more importantly, bring back the Knack Snack folks and the live music. So we're looking to do that next year. This week alone, I've already gotten 2 calls from meeting planners to receive bids on 2 events, one with SFA, the other one with the Texas Apartment Association. So that's good. That's coming back. And I can just tell you, I did a quick count on just permitted events with the city this year, since we took over in April. is at 72. So 72 permanent events, which doesn't include, I'll be honest with you, some of the things that Ashley's going to talk about. Doesn't include anything from Fredonia Brewery, you know, any of the private events. So 72 events that we have our hands on, which is fabulous for us to be able to report on and give the city an idea on what the economic impact is based on those that that require some sort of city space or service or something like that. December 3rd, we have the SFA Alumni Beer and Bites that will be at the Fredonia Brewery. The alumni has reached out to us to help assist, and basically to me, assisting is coming and having fun with them, which I like. The 4th, oh, that same evening, actually on the 2nd, we're hosting Sisters on the Fly. If you guys don't know what Sisters of the Fly in, it is a bunch of crazy fun women. I think I'm going to be a member of RV vintage. They take off and hit, you know, the roads. So there's going to be up to 80 of those out at the Sandyland grounds, which is just a tick north of 59 and 259 Exchange. They're also going to be in our Christmas parade. They're going to have steak night over at Lugnuts. This is over 80 steaks that Larry will be serving to these fun, crazy ladies. And they're going to have all kinds of fun events. They're going to be at Kinfolks. So they come prepared to have a whole lot of fun, but also to spend a lot of money. So we're excited to have them. And on the 4th, the CVB will be hosting its first, what we consider annual Nine Flags Festival. With the help, again, I got to give credit to Crystal Hicks. Of course, Ashley and I are we're up to working on getting vendors again around our square. We have 41 vendors, so yay! We're going to have a bull riding functionality. Can't wait for that. And that same day, Tour Homes is happening. So the 4th is going to be a great day, and of course, that will then flow into our Nine Flags Parade and fireworks event that evening. Some of the vendors that are food and drink have asked if they can stick around. We said, of course, that'll be a whole lot of fun for the parade folks. And then I am also working on our 2022 Wine, Whiskey, and Brew, getting a new bus vendor for us. And we are, of course, hosting our Nine Flags Sip and Stroll. We've got some folks signed up. Again, that's an every Saturday event in December, but in reality, we can do it every Saturday as long as we've got vendors and places that want to play with us for a set amount of money. But that is it thus far that I can think of, other than we're decorating the stage. It should be up in time for the competition because I want to win this window Christmas competition. And we're going to have 2 featured artist paintings blown up, and they will be for photo ops for families. It's going to be an 8-foot tall by 10-foot somewhat banner, but framed out, and we'll have 3 of them back there with lights and Christmas garb, and come take your pick. We also have Santa coming December, when is it, Ash? 11th? 12th? 12th on a Saturday. 11th, Friday. Sign language. Okay, yeah. We have Santa coming that people can take pics with back there as well. So that's it in a nutshell. Any questions?
That's a lot. I just want to add that the Corvair group came out to the winery while they were doing a road tour, and it was wonderful to see the parking lot full of all these beautiful vintage cars, but they were so complimentary of you guys and the help that you've given in Nacogdoches. So, and I asked, they were effusive in their compliments. So good job. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ashley, I guess you're next.
I'm laughing so hard because I just filled up an entire page of minutes of what Joanna was saying, and she's like, and that's it. So the first thing I wanted to talk to y'all about is last month I mentioned the inclusivity page on our website. Full transparency, I have not even been able to touch that yet. As Joanna just illustrated, we are extremely busy with the holidays. It is still very important, but I think it's going to have to take the back burner, and maybe it'll be something for the first of the year. I'll try to get to it this month, but I just wanted to let y'all know it's still on my plate, just a little bit further down. So Sherry mentioned some ad buys that we did. We did put one in Food and Travel magazine. In my opinion, it's a very beautiful ad and well worth the money. The print audience was about 600,000. Their demographic is right in line with ours. There is also a digital version, and we got some social media posts out of it. Personally, I don't really want to work with the guy ever again because he was kind of rude, but I will show you the ad. And then I'm also going to post a link in the chat box that you guys can look at it online, because I have not been able to find additional copies of the magazine in Nacogdoches. So if you see Food and Travel magazine in Nacogdoches, please let me know and I'm going to go buy up every copy. This ad was really cool because we were allotted a feature piece, which we used to advertise the Fredonia Hotel, since they have 3 fabulous restaurants. And I actually sold that feature piece to the Fredonia and got $1,000 back from them to put towards the ad. So it was less of a hit on us. So kind of like a double whammy. But here's the ad. I feel like show and tell in kindergarten. And here's the second page with, I think it was like 500 or 750 words of copy. I wrote all of it, and I also wrote the Fredonia Hotels piece per their request, so that was pretty cool. This is their beautiful piece. So let me drop that in the comments so that y'all can look at it. It's on page 54, by the way. And then just a cool little thing, Joanna and I were talking about like our Facebook audience and things like that, and I was just curious to see how much it had grown since I started. I started in December of 2019, right before COVID hit. Fun times. But we've gained 2,607 new followers since I've been here for about 2 years. So I'm pretty proud of that. That's about 1,000 new followers a year. Hopefully we can just continue to grow that and see similar results on Instagram one day, maybe. I send out a newsletter, and I've been doing these monthly. Hopefully you all are receiving them. We sent it to 4,200 people, and we had a 24% open rate. That number sounds low, but in the industry, a 17% open rate is the average. So we're well above average. We only had 6 people unsubscribe, which is not really nice. 6 people out of 4,000 said, I don't want to see your stuff anymore. So I'll take it. One person said that I emailed them too much, and I was like, I'm sorry, once a month is too much for you. Our Google business results were really good for October. All of our calls are up, website visits are up, searches are up, and views are up. I believe this to be because of all of the events that we're doing, but also because of the fall foliage. I'm sure Mike's going to mention it in his report, but our phone is just ringing constantly, and lots of people are asking for directions. I created a post that is being shared around Facebook about upcoming Christmas events, because we just have so much going on and it's so exciting. It's reached like 10,000 people and 57 shares. So I'm really excited about that. I think Christmas is going to be huge for us. December 4th, I think we're not prepared for how many people are going to be downtown. So it's going to be awesome. And finally, I get to announce that our Love Letters to Nacogdoches book will be here this weekend. They'll be for sale hopefully next week, like just before Thanksgiving, but we're going to be closed for part of the week next week, so it might be the first week of December that they go on sale. But I just wanted to thank the people on this call that submitted letters, Wanda, Chris Hancock, and his whole family. I'm so excited. The book turned out really cute. So those will be on sale for, I believe, $20, I want to say. So y'all remember to pick up a copy. And then our cookbook should be in hopefully around the same time. But that concludes my report. Does anyone have any questions for me? Thank y'all.
Again,
Killed it.
lots and lots. Yes.
Yay. Thanks.
Perfect words.
Yay.
Mike does
I'm
he
here.
have a report for us? Hi, Mike.
Hi. Continue to welcome visitors. We had about 1,000 people in October that came through our doors. It's amazing. And as Ashley mentioned, people are calling about the fall foliage, and it is just a very uneducated guess to tell them. The trees seem like they're just turning almost overnight. I've got maples in my yard that are turning overnight, and I think in September, Thanksgiving weekend and the first weekend in December, in my prediction, may be the time to come see the color. So that's about all I have, unless you have any questions.
How many people came in this past Saturday?
Gosh, about 150. That was the Carver show, and just people were downtown. It was really busy. Yeah, it was good.
So I always like to remind people that not every single visitor that comes to Nacogdoches comes into the visitor center.
They should.
They should, because we have the best visitor center ever. And we hear that from people all the time. Y'all have an amazing visitor center. But if you just think about yourself as a traveler, or maybe this is just like a millennial thing, but I don't really go to visitor centers in other towns or in other states. And well, now I do, because I work in one and I want to see, but I never did before. So I think that those numbers are amazing, because that's just a fraction of how many people are coming to Nacogdoches.
And I think it's important too to remember that our weekend hours, on Saturday it's 10 to 4, Sunday is 1 to 4. So if we have a Saturday that we've seen 150 people come through between the hours of 10 and 4, that is fast and furious. That's a lot of people coming in, and it is only because of Mike, who insists on working on Saturdays, and our volunteers, that we're able to stay open 7 days a week. So
That sounds fabulous. Looking at the agenda, I guess that concludes, except for the designation of time, date, location of next meeting. And I forgot how we do that. Sherry, can you help here?
it's the third Wednesday of the month, which is the 15th of December at 3.
And the time, I assume, will be the same, or that to be decided?
At 3.
Okay, all right. Anything else? Do I call for an adjournment?
Yeah, you can accept a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second.
That I didn't hear who was the first.
Larry.
Larry.
All right. Larry made the motion. Damon seconded, and I believe that concludes the meeting.
Thank you all so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.